bout is 4 rounds in the super bantamweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the Dynamic Mortgage Concepts red corner, Ernie Marquez.
Super bantamweight fighters, that means 122 pounds. Coming to us for 4 3-minute rounds of pro boxing. Making his way to the ring first, Mr. Ernie Marquez. It's coming through over the broadcast, but a large contingent of Marquez fans here this evening, making some noise for the young man.
Yeah, very large contingent of fans. This should be a fairly popular fighter tonight.
And his opponent, fighting out of the Larry H. Miller Nissan on 104th, blue corner, Nicholas Rodriguez.
Tail of the tape here, Mr. Marquez comes to us at 37 years old, 5 feet 5 inches tall at 122 pounds. Great deal of experience for this orthodox fighter at 9'11", 2.
Going over to Mr. Rodriguez, 27 years old, 5 foot 7 inches tall, weighed in at 122 pounds, a record of 1-10. Listing his style as a boxer. Both these guys have a lot of experience, so we'll see kind of how this fight plays out.
Yes, sir. Little last minute touch up with the Vaseline there. Allowed to put it around the bridge of the nose and brows of the eyes and the prominence of the cheekbones, and that's it. Keeps the gloves from sticking and tearing the skin.
Skin tears are no bueno.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, let's meet our fighters. First, fighting out of the Dynamic Mortgage Concepts red corner, from Pueblo, Colorado, representing Fort Morgan Gladiators Boxing, Ernie Gumpy, the Gladiator Marquez. And his opponent, fighting out of the Larry H. Miller Nissan on 104th blue corner, from Dayton, Ohio, representing East Dayton Boxing, Nicholas the Tenacious One Rodriguez.
Okay, gentlemen, you received your instructions earlier in the dressing room. I expect you to obey my commands at all times. Protect yourself at all times. No strikes to the back of the head here. Nothing below the navel heel, guys. Touch them up right now. Good luck.
Ernie Marquez wearing the black and white, representing the Fort Morgan Gladiators Boxing. Facing off against the East Dayton Boxing fighter, Mr. Nicholas Rodriguez, wearing the all-black trunks this evening.
Rodriguez coming out right away, firing some jabs straight down the middle. Ooh, big left hook counter, though, right off the bat by Marquez.
Yeah, Rodriguez fires off the left hand, and he leaves it hanging out there just the tiniest bit. And that's what afforded Marquez the chance to throw that left hook.
Nice straight by Marquez.
Marquez really getting his feet planted and getting a lot of body twist into his punches. He's landing with some authority early.
Ooh, another good combination by Marquez. Rodriguez, though, not backing down, throwing some good body shots, really trying to push the pace forward. Ooh, big right hand.
Nicely thrown right down the middle. And Marquez basically just stuck that punch out there and let Rodriguez walk himself into it. And as we progress in the round, Marquez looking to put even more power on his punches. to me like Marquez wants a first-round stoppage here.
I think so. Rodriguez doing a good job, though, trying to keep him off with the jab, trying to pressure forward, but Marquez has been very quick with these combos following up.
Yeah, combo's key to that sentence right there. He's not throwing single punches. It'd be a much easier night for Rodriguez if he was, but Marquez putting it together in 2s, 3s, and 4s.
And Rodriguez kind of doing the exact opposite. One jab, one cross, one cross. He needs to start putting some combinations together and make Marquez think a little bit before he has to come in.
Makes it very difficult to be a counterpuncher when your opponent, one, comes forward with such authoritative power, and two, always throws combinations.
Yes. You know, a good defense is one thing, but the easiest way to stop somebody from punching you, punch him back.
Punch him first, punch him back, punch him harder.
Yeah. One of my coaches likes to say, it's always my turn. You don't get a turn. It's always my turn. I'm going to punch you, I'm going to move out, and then I'm going to punch you again.
And Marquez going to work with that system right there. Good slip by Marquez. Marquez starting to have some vision for Rodriguez's techniques, and like you said, when he throws just one, very rarely even a two, you know as soon as that first punch has been thrown, it's open season.
Yep, you can just come straight in.
10-second clacker sounded.
Another big right hand. Good angle by Marquez.
That was nice footwork off the ropes and then to step back in.
Yep.
There's
Good
the bell.
slip again.
Marquez looking very fluid. I'm super impressed by his ability to throw power shots in combinations.
I've got to agree with you there. If I'm in Marquez's corner, I'm going to tell him to keep kind of doing the same thing. And then even on top of that, every time you see Rodriguez throw a punch, you immediately come back in. Here we go with the replay. Showing some of that head movement of Marquez.
Rodriguez sticking his hand out there trying to get a little something going, but he just is not putting enough authority behind it and not putting enough volume out there to make Marquez have to really worry about very much, whereas Marquez, the way he's throwing, Rodriguez has to worry about every single punch.
Yep. That is a very accurate statement, JR. Again, have left me with nothing.
I'm speechless.
Here we go to start round number 2. Let's see if Marquez picks up right where he left off in round 1.
A body shot landed for Rodriguez, and we heard it fairly well, so Rodriguez coming out putting a little more authority on his punches.
And the biggest thing, he's throwing more than one. Throwing some combos, making Marquez think a little bit now before he can set up his next technique.
There it is, Marquez coming forward with authority again.
Yep.
Took him a little bit to get going here in the second, but here he goes.
I was just about to say, it almost looks like he's taking a little bit of the power off and now right back to it. I think just trying to see what Rodriguez was going to come out with in this round.
Well, we talked about Rodriguez opening up the round, looking better with his combinations. Let's see if he's able to keep with that. Throwing some combinations here as he has Marquez backed against the ropes momentarily.
That's a good flurry from Rodriguez. Throwing a lot of body shots, little softer ones. They weren't landing super hard, but they're going to score with the judges.
Ooh, Rodriguez, he had a hard shot there. Marquez, this round seeming to want to be a little bit more of a counter puncher.
Yeah,
he was really pressuring forward all round 1. I kind of expected more of the same style of attack since it was so successful, but he seems to have changed up tactics here in the second.
Ooh, a good straight right, though. Another right hand.
Less than a minute to go here in the second.
Some great head movement by Rodriguez there. Slipped and moved and weaved about 10 punches, I think.
See what the timeout's for here. Low blow. Having a hard time understanding the referee's instructions.
Yep.
Got to start from a neutral corner, so. Oh, Marquez getting off solidly here late at round 2.
That was a much better round for Rodriguez.
Yeah, a lot more of what he needed to do in that round, no doubt about that.
Yeah, he was moving a lot better. His head movement was good. He was throwing punches and bunches. It was a lot better round and a lot harder for the judges to score, I think. Made it a little bit more difficult for him. If I'm in Marquez's corner, I'm telling him to go right back to what he did in round number 1. Push the pace, push the pressure, and just try to break Rodriguez down.
Yeah, seeing here on the replay, Rodriguez, the first thing we saw there was that he pumped a double jab, which we didn't see hardly any of in round number 1. And I'm a little bit baffled as to why Marquez got away from the tactics that he was employing in round number 1, because it was so successful for him. So we'll see what kinds of adjustments are made by both fighters. And I agree with you. If I'm in Marquez's corner, I say go back to doing what you did in round 1. And we're going to have a momentary equipment fix here. Some tape coming off of Mr. Rodriguez's shoe.
Rodriguez coming right back out with that double jab again.
Something I'm seeing from Rodriguez here early in round number 3 is his hands are in a better defensive position. Throughout this fight so far, most of the power shots that Marquez has been landing have been head shots. He hasn't needed to go to the body a whole lot because the head's been open. And I think possibly Rodriguez's corner was in his ear about that because, well, up until these last 3 punches here, he was doing a lot better job of blocking the head shots.
I think you're right, and Rodriguez has landed some good punches in this round too. He's really coming out strong again. He's being countered a little bit by Marquez, but he needs to keep to this game plan.
Before this flurry, it was a left hook by Marquez that set it up.
Ooh. Big right,
he's going
left.
to work now. He's hurt Rodriguez a number of times in about the last 20 seconds.
Rodriguez is a little glassy-eyed. You can see it in his eyes. He's not quite focused. Let's see if Marquez can't finish this off.
And we've talked about it in earlier fights. Marquez displaying more of it here. A very measured and disciplined attack. Has his opponent hurt, but he's not doing so much that he's going to punch himself out or put himself in a bad position. Continues to score with, I'm going to say, very damaging strikes, but not putting himself in any danger in order to do so.
Exactly. He's not flurrying hard. He's just everything he lands is landing solid and crisp, and then he comes right back to his guard. Nice double cross.
Yeah, stepping forward with it, too. Rodriguez warned for holding. You're not allowed to hold behind the head and punch your opponent.
Nice weave out there by Marquez.
Well, we talked about his experience, and that's one of those moves that you've just practiced so many, literally tens of thousands of times over the course of a career. Oh.
Big right hand by Rodriguez.
That landed very nicely for him. Oh, and saw Rodriguez's feet stagger a little bit as that right hand came over for Marquez.
And a good right body shot followed by a left hook by Marquez.
Well, we talked about only about 10 seconds left here. We talked about Rodriguez keeping his hands in a better position defensively as far as protecting his head, and fairly immediately Marquez started going to the body. So really nice read, very nice adjustment by the Fort Morgan Gladiators boxing fighter, Mr. Mr. Marquez.
That was a great round by both fighters, JR. And, you know, there's a chance Rodriguez pulled out round 2, and there's a chance he pulled out round 3. This was a much closer round. Looking at the replay,
Rodriguez definitely doing a much better job. You see it right there of putting together his punches and combinations. And Marquez, like I said, just made a really nice adjustment on once the head was protected well by Rodriguez, he started in on his body attack and had good effect for him.
coming into the 4th and final round. We'll see how Marquez comes out this round. He looked a little bit tired at the end of the 3rd. Let's see if he comes out with power shots or if he's willing to sit back and just kind of pick him apart again. Rodriguez really pressuring forward, but caught with a big left hook.
And a right hand by Marquez. Yeah, Marquez just moments ago landed the stiffest jab of the entire fight. And Rodriguez with the proverbial bite down on the mouthpiece and step forward. That's exactly what he needed to do to bring himself into round number 4.
Yes, it is. And he's maintaining pressure. And Marquez, I mean, just looks a little bit tired. He's still coming forward with some hard punches, but if Rodriguez can keep the pressure up, it might wear him down a little bit. Beautiful right hand by Marquez, though.
Marquez doing as well with his punches as he's done at any point in the fight, but his footwork not quite as crisp and clean as it had been earlier. And again, that speaks to the little bit of fatigue. See if Rodriguez is able to take advantage. Marquez, like I said, even though his footwork still isn't exactly what it was earlier on, his hand speed, accuracy, and power seems to be.
About halfway through round number 4. It's been a very good round for both fighters so far, just back and forth. Neither one of these guys wants to stop swinging.
These guys can sense they're getting toward the end of the fight here. Both of them wanting to give their best showing. Less than a minute to go. Corner Rodriguez asking him to please keep pushing, and I agree, and he's just keep that foot on the gas pedal. Easy to say from back here.
Yeah, you're not kidding. But a good tie-up by Marquez, trying to get a little bit of a breather. But Rodriguez has been relentless in this round with his forward pressure.
Oh, Marquez, nice combination. Referee's been fairly nicely silent here. Hasn't had to step in for anything.
10-second clacker's gonna go off.
Rodriguez looking to keep his hands moving. And there's the bell.
Good final round. And I was impressed. Rodriguez steadily improved each round.
Agreed. Nice adjustments made. Good instructions from his corner that he was able to hear and put into solid effect. Checking out the replay here, where Marquez was staggered just a little bit and then answers back very nicely. working the left hand, comes back with the cross. Rodriguez he refused to accept any of the punches of Marquez in the 4th round. He just said, whatever you got, it doesn't really matter. I'm going to keep coming forward. I'm going to keep my hands moving. And, let's sort of see how this plays out.
I'm very interested to see what the judges' scorecards look like. I'm not even going to venture a guess at the moment. And in a 4-round fight, man, I hate to say the dirty D word, but there's always that chance it's a draw.
Yes, indeed. I almost always wonder, why do they do a 4-round fight? There's too much chance of that.
Mr. Momart ready to give us the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, after the bout, we go to the judges' scorecard. Judge Short scores it 40-36. Judge Ramirez scores it 40-36. And Judge Kugler scores it 39-37. Declaring your winner by unanimous decision, Ernie the Gladiator Marquez!
Congratulations to the Fort Morgan Gladiators boxing fighter, Mr. Ernie Marquez. Earns his trip over to Victory Circle for the post-fight interview with Bailey Winters.
All right, I'm here now with your winner, Ernie Marquez. How do you feel about that win tonight?
I feel amazing. Living the dream.
It's your first fight back in about 5 years now. How did it feel stepping into the ring again?
Like riding a bike, man. I've been in the gym. I'm a boxing coach and run a boxing program, so I'm always in there with the guys, and they keep me young.
Not only did you fight tonight, but you were also cornering some of the fighters. How did you prepare for that mentally going into it?
It's my life. It's like nothing. It's just like every other day, man. I love it. That's what I do. I live for my team and my family. We make the world a better place. That's what we do.
You have your granddaughter here, Adeline. What did you think of your grandpa's performance tonight?
It was awesome.
That's awesome. And if I could thank a few of you people. First and foremost, I want to thank the best person in the world, my beautiful wife, Jessica. Thank you, Mama, for putting up with all my crap. And my amazing daughters that they help her put up with it. I know maybe me putting up with it, but it's amazing. And my family, my boxing team, my boxing coaches, Craig Johnson, Jarrell, I got Sherman, my girls, my whole boxing team's over here, man. I'm loving it. Living the dream.
Can we expect to see you back in that ring again sometime soon?
I probably got a few more fights in me. I got a little bit left in the tank. I'll see what I can bring back.
Sounds like the people want to see it, so congratulations on a great fight tonight.
Thank you very much.
Good job.